Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. UFC Fight Night just ended. UFC Vegas 67 just now ended, and we're going to talk about it today. I put up a little bit of a short, real quick, my thoughts. Here is my full thoughts and what I think should happen next. Some pretty fun fights overall in this fight card. First, we start with Charles Johnson versus Jimmy Flick, and I thought Jimmy Flick would have a little bit of an issue coming back for being as long as he had been. Charles Johnson just fought very recently, and I thought the ring rust would be a big factor in this fight, and it really was. Charles Johnson was able to finish Jimmy Flick and really get that finish that he so desperately needed, even though I thought he lost pretty convincingly in his last fight. But either way, 2-fight winning streak now and able to finish Jimmy Flick. And again, I thought it was a premature stoppage. I also did a short on that, talking about that for a quick second. And then Daniel Argueta defeated Nick Agori. And Nick Agori just really seemed like he couldn't get going. You know, not probably his best, most fondest fight or, memory, honestly. Kind of gets bullied around for 3 rounds. Dan Argueta didn't show anything crazy, but he showed that he could win and really do what he has to do to get the win. And then Alan Nascimento really just kind of ran through Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez, slick, fun fighter, fun to watch. Just when you're fighting a guy like Nascimento, you cannot give your back up, and Alan Nascimento got his back and did not disappoint with that. Made things in there that are very hard, and made him seem super easy. Great win for Alan Nascimento, and he's 20-6 now, so very impressive with him. And then Matheus Rebecki defeated Nick Fiore. I think that's how you say his name. Nick Fiore looked decent as the fight went on. Just really couldn't get anything going in that aspect. Started the fight off very badly. Matheus emptied the gas tank. He talked about it after the fight. He emptied the gas tank, and he had to kind of rely on his wrestling and his ground game, and he looked good. I mean, as long as he can not get himself as tired as he was, I think he could really turn out to be something probably special, because stand-up's really good. His ground game was very dominant. Again, I know he fought somebody with 6 fights. Still, it was still very impressive, and that striking was pretty fun to watch. And then Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Hopefully Nick Fiore gets another shot. I would imagine he would. I'm pretty sure it was a short notice fight as well. And then Abdul Razak Al Hassan fighting Claudio Ribeiro. I was a little bit worried about this one for Abdul because of a stance and the fighting style of Abdul. Just because Claudio is almost that sniper-like, almost like Carlos. Carlos, what's his name? Izzy's training partner. Carlos was knocked out by Kenny Zekuchu. Oh my God, Kennedy. What's his name? Carlos. Crap. Kick. He was also a kickboxer. Dang it. Carlos Olberg. Yep, Olberg. Okay, cool. Yeah, Carlos Olberg. And kind of reminded me a little bit of that, but again, I was very surprised at the patience and what Abdul was able to do, because he has so much power. And he actually talked about it again after the fight, that he needs to slow himself down when he's in there, because he has power and he has to use more than just striking, because that's gotten him some losses. Even if it's gassing out in the first round, I've been able to get him out of there. Even if it's a crazy slugfest and he loses a close decision, and he did that. He looked really good. It looked maybe like he hurt him at the end of the first round, and then as soon as that second round started, he kind of let his hands go a little bit, hurt Claudio in the pocket, and then went right at him. And you can't stand against that cage and let Abdul tee off on you. Those right hands, that power is unbelievable from Abdul Razak Al Hassan. So happy to see him win. And then Javid Basharat versus Matheus Mendoka. I think that's how you say his name. very, very impressive in that first round. He came out, his striking looked really good, his patience was very nice, but he was walking Javid immediately down, and that was something that we needed to see from Javid. How does he deal with that stuff happening to him? And I thought he handled it very well. Circling in and out, side to side movement, which was huge, I think. And then as the fight went on, you could see Javid's well-roundedness and his full game plan and his full arsenal and his striking, his takedowns, his ground game just really, really come out. Beautiful performance from Javid fighting the guy that really had nothing to lose. Sometimes it can be super scary. And then Umar Nurmagomedov versus Ronnie Barcelos. I talked about this when I broke this fight down. I thought Barcelos was going to be a crazy, crazy test for Umar, just because we've seen him fight a lot, maybe even more than Umar in his UFC career, and he hasn't really gotten hurt. His ground game is very, very good. His takedown defense is good. And what happens? Umar goes in there and he finishes him with a weird left hook. Not a big wind up, just throws a knee and then hits him with a left hook, and Ronnie Barcelos is out cold. You wonder if something had happened in camp to where he got wrong, his bell rang a couple times, or if he had gotten hurt, something, because we've never seen him get hurt like that before. And yeah, just great left hook from Umar. Just was not expecting that whatsoever. And then we'll call Pennington, Caitlin Vieira. I thought Caitlin Vieira's size would be more of an issue than it really was in this fight. Raquel Pennington looked really, really good, especially when she moved forward, which is something I also talked about when I was breaking the fight down, that she has to move forward. She can't give Vieira the space. And that's why Raquel Pennington won the fight. She didn't give her the space. She put a crazy output. Not as much in the third round, but she did enough to win that fight. Very, very impressive from Raquel Pennington. And then Punahele Soriano versus Roman Kopylov. We just seen a little, how Roman fought in this fight was, we seen glimpses of this, how this style of how he fought in this and his other performances. We've seen it. It's about putting it together and staying calm and, again, putting everything together. And Roman Kopylov did exactly that. As soon as it seemed like Soriano was coming on just a little bit, getting some of that energy back, that's something we'll talk about here in a second too, but as soon as Kopylov heard him, he stayed true to it. He kept looking for that shot, and he did. And then he didn't let Soriano off the hook. And he was able to put him away. And the thing I wanted to talk about was Soriano. When he's on and when his cardio is dialed in, his cardio seemed really, really off. Like 2 minutes into this fight, he was, and the style that Kopylov and Soriano, their styles, that the reason why they clash so well, when they match this fight up, was Kopylov stands there, he will trade with you in space. He has nice kicks, as we've seen, but in the pocket, Soriano has nice striking. Hold on. And sorry. And Soriano's cardio looked really, really bad tonight. And then Dan Ige, he really, really needed to show out in this one. Not just win a decision, not just, squeak by the skin of his teeth or by his nails on his fingernails. He needed that statement win. And I think he got it. From as soon as the bell rang, Dan Ige was all over Damon Jackson. He had nice power, nice striking, nice accuracy, and it seemed like Damon had such a hard time, obviously, getting a hold of him, and he knew that coming in. And the question was, how does he get inside? And it seemed like he just could not get inside. And he started to have more success in that second round, right before he was finished. And you've seen Damon Jackson going at him more. I'm very curious to see if that eye was some of the reason why he couldn't see that punch, because his coach told him, do not be in the pocket, especially against the cage, but don't be in the pocket with him because of his power. And that's how Damon Jackson gets finishes, in the pocket, swinging, and then the last one to swing was Ige, hits Damon Jackson and puts him down. And then Sean Strickland versus Nasruddin Imavov. I thought Imavov was going to start really, really well, and then Strickland would come on and Imavov would win that decision just because Strickland starts later. And that's not really what happened. It was kind of the opposite. It just Imavov really couldn't even seem to get going. And somebody scored it through. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, 48-47 and then 49-46 for Strickland. All for Strickland, but somebody gave Imavov a second round. Either way, I thought Strickland was really good. He definitely needs to clean up his striking. It was a little bit wild in there sometimes. But I think that's how he needed to play that with Imavov because of Imavov's style. If he's just crisp all the time, I think Imavov would find a way past those strikes because it was so looping from Strickland. I think it kind of held Imavov back and held him at bay. And obviously too much at that because of the fact that Imavov couldn't really get going. The jab looked good from Strickland. Those teeps were very, very nice. I wish Strickland would throw him a little bit more leg kicks just because how Imavov stands. But again, just overall great performance from Sean Strickland. And honestly, a pretty good fight night card to open up the year. You know, not a whole ton of finishes. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 11 fights. You can't really ask for much more than that on the opening card. And just some really, really fun fights. Leave a comment down below, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this fight card. If you enjoyed it, if you did not. If you are new here and you've seen this video or my shorts, subscribe to the channel. Check these videos out. Hit the thumbs up button. As always, share them. All those things. I'm pretty active on the community. Again, let me know who you guys thought you had winning in this. What was your biggest surprise? Again, let me know. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. As always, peace.